The opinions and views expressed in the following program are those of the speakers and the host, and do not necessarily reflect those of Yoakley Scott Corporation and Your Sports Network.
Yeah, I've been closer to Jesus before, so can you help me out? Oh, can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? Or can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? Or can you help me out? Can you help me out? I've been scared to look in my soul. I've been afraid I would follow the road. Yeah, afraid of the things I've been told.
And hello, everybody. Welcome inside a brand new week, right? It's Monday. Hope you're all ready for it. Welcome to a Monday episode of Running Point on ysnlive.com. Brought to you, as always, by our good friends over at Greenwood Chevrolet in Austin Town. They go the extra mile for you. We try to do the same here on this show every single day, and we're going to continue to do that today. We have a lot to do today, a lot to get through. Not only are we going to go over the scores from the weekend, obviously, go through the scoreboard for Friday and Saturday. We have to announce the seedings and the brackets for baseball. So we're going to do that. And then we have to get through talking about the tournaments for softball. We went through Division 1 on Friday. And I promise that we get through 2, 3, and 4 by the end of tomorrow. So we have today and tomorrow, trust me, to get through 3 divisions. I'm going to do it. We're going to get through. We'll probably get through 1 today with all the stuff we have to do, breaking down the tournament for baseball, going over the seedings. We'll probably get through 1 division today, and then we'll leave room for talking about divisions 3 and 4 probably tomorrow. If I had to guess my timeline, that's how we're kind of laying it out here. But so to get right into it, I want to go into the scoreboard. And we're going to do it. We're going to pop the scoreboard at ysnlive.com up so you can see it on your screen. The YSN scoreboard is a great tool for our fans, whether you're at one of the games or watching one of our broadcasts. Either way, you don't want to look away from the screen for too long. And the YSN scoreboard is a great and easy tool to see live updated scores across the YSN family of your favorite teams. YSN Scoreboard is presented by Burnett Pool, Spas, and Hot Tubs, and it can be found at ysnlive.com/scores. So here we go. On Friday, May 3rd, we're going back in time a little bit. Badger and St. John did not happen. That got canceled because of the rain that happened up in Ashtabula on Friday. Columbiana got beat by Heartland Christian. Big win for the Lions. 11-9. A lot of offense going towards the end of the week. We saw Champion fall to Warren Harding by the final score of 3-1 on Friday. Then we go over and we see that Warren JFK with a big win over Ursuline, 6-2, the final score there. There's a lot of momentum for JFK going into today, where they start their attempt to get a conference championship. They have to sweep Lake Center Christian in the next 2 games, who is also very good baseball team and a very good conference record. So JFK getting a lot of momentum into today with a big win over Ursuline on Friday. Howland was able to take care of Struthers, 8-2, the final score there. Wyndham and Bristol did not happen. That game was canceled. We go to Lake Center Christian, who's going to play JFK tonight. They were able to take care of Cardinal Mooney, 7-0, the final score there. We did get a score in from Springfield and Middle Ridge as the Rams edge out the Tigers 5-4. Then last but not least, Pymatuning Valley gets the win over Chalker 11-1. We go to the softball side of things. On Friday, these teams trying to wrap up their regular season before obviously tournament. I just said that word again. Tournament starts today. Poland lost to Canfield 11-7. Canfield had a 7-0 lead in this one. Poland came all the way back, tied up at 7, and then Canfield won in extras 11-7. And just like the baseball game, Ashtabula St. John hosting Badger got canceled. So did Wyndham and Bristol. Lakeside and Cardinal did not happen because of weather up there in Ashtabula County. Pymatuning Valley did get a game in. They beat Chalker 4-3. A lot of scoring in Campbell as they beat Springfield 20-10 on their senior night. So congratulations to the Red Devils there. A lot of scoring in United as the Eagles get by Middle Ridge 16-15. The final score, Grace Coffey with a walk-off double for the Eagles. Big weekend for Boardman as they had their first of 3 wins over the weekend against Keystone, 7-3. The final score, that's a state powerhouse in Keystone. They have a bunch of state championships on their resume, and Boardman went to LaGrange and got the win over the Wildcats. West Branch got the win over Canton South 11-2. Struthers beat Cheney 12-2. And Howland took care of Rootstown 10-0. That's a big win for Howland because Rootstown is Division 3, one of the big teams in Division 3 right now. We'll talk about that tomorrow with their bracket. But Rootstown's going to be a wild card in Division 3 as a top 10 seed. By the way, Brooke Tater, 3 home runs in a game. That's not anything too amazing for that game, right? We go into Saturday baseball. Howland was able to shut out Columbiana 5-0. The final score there. Columbiana, a little bit of a skid going into this week, I should say. LeBray beats Springfield 14-4. Both teams leading their respective tiers of the MVAC, so that's a big win for the Vikings. We go into Struthers, where Cardinal Mooney got the win 4-0. Then last but not least, Ashtabula St. John got a game in on Saturday after being canceled on Friday. They beat Conneaut 13-8, the final score there. We go into softball on Saturday. East Palestine all over Springfield 17-2, the final score there. Bulldogs get the win. LeBray and Brookfield played a doubleheader. Those scores should definitely be flipped. LeBray beat Brookfield 14-3. And 10-1. Those were the final scores. So we apologize for that typo there. That should be turned on its head. Berkshire beat Lakeside 9-3. South Range went to Stowe Monroe Falls and got 2 big wins. Their first one was over the defending Division II state champions, 3-0 over Talmadge. And then South Range in Game 2 beat the host Stowe Bulldogs 11-7. They had a big lead in this one. Stowe made a little bit of a push in the last inning to make it respectable, but South Range dominated that game really from start to finish. Berkshire got the win over Lakeside 17-2 in that doubleheader Game 2 of that one. So those were your softball scores over the weekend. We do want to remind you that Boardman got 2 wins, one over Normandy and one over Revere. And those scores were, let me get them off of Game Changer. They beat Normandy 13-0, and they beat Revere 9-1. So Boardman is on a 4-game winning streak right now as they're trying to take momentum into tournament play as they had a doubleheader down in Revere. So a good job by the Spartans to carry some momentum into this week. So that is the scoreboard for the weekend, which means usually we spend more time on the scoreboard, but we got to go right into the baseball tournament. So we're going to take this off the screen, and then you're going to bear with me for a minute while I change the screen sharing from the scoreboard on YSN to the Northeast District database. Just a moment here. We got that. Okay, we bring it up now. There it is. Okay, here we go. Northeast District Database Baseball. So, like softball, we will look at the seedings first and see how they broke down. You can find this at any DAB. If you Google that, it'll be your first search. This is the Northeast District Database, basically the hub of the OHSAA for the Northeast District. A little bit more just focused on our district, and you can also see the seedings and the voting on this. So if you're interested, you can go to this website. You can see how every team voted, so you know how teams got their seedings. I'm not going to go over that right now because obviously I said that word again. It is a lot of numbers and a lot to look at, so we're just going to go right to the seedings. Here is how Division I Northeast breaks down in the seeds. Massillon Jackson is your 1 seed, then Mentor, then Walsh the Jesuit. Hoban at 12-3 gets the 4 seed. That's the first YSN team to show up. University School, then Hoover, then Twinsburg. Chardon, Austintown Fitch next to pop up as they are the 9 seed with a 16-6 record at the time of reporting. Nordonia right behind them at 12-5. Then Louisville, who might be a little bit underseeded with a tough schedule at 11-6. They are the 11th seed. Glen Oak after them, then Mayfield, then Massillon Washington, Massillon Perry, Greene, Dover, Aurora, Uniontown Lake, Hudson, Willoughby South, Canton McKinley, Ellett, Riverside, Warren Harding, and then Eastlake North rounds out Division I Northeast. Oh, I'm sorry. It's bigger than that. We were at Eastlake North. Then we go to Brush, Stone Monroe Falls, Solon, Cuyahoga Falls, Boardman down there. And then we have Lakeside, Euclid, Harvey, and Cleveland JFK rounding out these seedings. I did not scroll all the way down because there are 35 teams in Division I. So it's a big district, 35 seeds. That's your seeds 1 through 35. Now we'll go back to this page. We'll pop into the brackets and look at what they look like. We'll break them down. And here for your Northeast one, this is going to be Hoban, the top line of the bracket. There you go. YSN team right off the jump. They'll be straight in the sectional finals. They'll await the winner of Eastlake North versus Lakeside. The bottom half of that sectional, you have Twinsburg and Willoughby South and Brush playing for the chance to play Twinsburg. Bottom half of the bracket, Mentor is down there as the 2 seed. They will await the winner of Hudson and Solon. And then the bottom of the line, you have Chardon, the 8th seed. They await the winner of Dover and Warren Harding. This district will be held at Mentor. And Mentor could very well be a team that ends up there, so they could host their own district. And it starts on May 14th. The district round will be on May 21st. Championship on the 23rd. Like always, baseball 1 round behind softball. So when baseball is in sectionals, when baseball is in districts, softball will be in regionals and so on, and then the state tournament will be 1 week after softball. So if you're ever sitting there wondering what round baseball is in, take a look at softball. Just subtract 1 round, and that's where baseball will be. We go to Division Northeast 2. Top line is the 1 seed Massillon Jackson. They await the winner of Cuyahoga Falls and Boardman. It's 31 versus 30, so Boardman will be on the road at Cuyahoga Falls. Louisville, bottom end of that, they will await the winner of Uniontown Lake and Harvey. Then you have Austintown Fitch right there. All of these teams in the same bracket. That makes it easy on us. They will await the winner of Glen Oak and Solon. And then Nordonia at the bottom end of the district, waiting the winner of Perry and Canton McKinley. The tickle won't go away. I believe that's actually every YSN team. We had Boardman on the last one with Hoban. We have Louisville, Fitch. Louisville, Fitch, and Boardman here. Hoban was on the last one. Am I missing a Division I school? I don't think so. Louisville, Fitch, Boardman, Hoban. That's it, right? So yeah, we got done a lot quicker for Division One than softball because softball they were spread out. So 2 districts, 1 shot. And before I leave that district, let's find out where they're going to play. This district will be held at Nordonia, which is in Macedonia, Nordonia High School in Macedonia. And just like the last bracket, the sectionals will start on the 14th and the districts will start on the 21st. So now we can go right into Division 2 since we just took care of all of our YSN Division 1 teams in one fell swoop with 2 brackets down. We'll go in Division 2 and we'll look at the seedings for Division 2. Once again, if you want to see how teams voted, you can go to this page and you can see how everyone voted right above the seedings. We will skip that, go right to the seedings here. There are 24 Division 2 teams compared to the 35 in Division 1, and here is how they seeded out. Poland got the 1 seed, Alliance the 2, then West Branch, Canfield right behind them, Field, Marlington, Hubbard, Madison, Ursuline. You have Chardon, NDCL, Geneva, Streetsboro, Girard, Howland, Salem, Roosevelt, Ashtabula, Edgewood, Jefferson, West Geauga, Ravenna, Struthers, Niles, East, and Cheney rounds out the seeds for Division 2. So Poland gets the 1. Impressive season for the Bulldogs, NEA champions, and now the 1 seed in the district tournament. We go into Northeast 1 for the district. Top of the line is Poland right there. They are the 1 seed. They will have the bye. They will await the winner of Ursuline and Cheney. So not a great draw for the 1 seed as they could be playing the 9 seed Ursuline in the first round of the tournament. Well, their first round, I should say. And Ursuline, because of their schedule, might be a little bit underseeded. So all of a sudden, this becomes a very interesting sectional final. We go to the bottom half of this side of the district. Alliance is the 2 seed. They await the winner of Edgewood and Ravenna. Edgewood and Ravenna playing for the chance to play Alliance to the 2, who went right at the 1 seed. And isn't even on opposite sides of the district. That is really weird. And they're allowed to pick their own spots, but usually, even if the 2 seed goes after the 1, they try to get to the bottom end of this one, so they'll see him in the championship. So Alliance going right at Poland, lock, stock, and barrel. Just, we're going to meet you in the district semifinals if we have to. We're not going to wait to the championship. It means the bottom half of the district looks like this. The 7 seed Hubbard, someone that's very familiar with Poland in the same conference. They will have the bye. They await the winner of Streetsboro and Girard. And then you go into the bottom half, and you see that Canfield has a bye, and they await the winner of Niles and Howland. So a very good chance that Howland and Canfield will play each other in round 2 of that AAC series. It would be round 3, I should say. So that would be very interesting if that happened. Howland, a little bit of a hot streak to just beat Columbiana 5-0 on Saturday. A very interesting district. No one really shied away from trying to attack Poland. They voted him number 1, but they're not getting the scared respect that a lot of number 1 seeds typically get in this style of tournament. So very interesting to see how that bracket will shake out. A lot of teams that have a solid chance to win it. We go to the top line of the next district. I didn't even show you where that district was being played. Excuse me. We'll go back to 1 real quick, and we'll shout out the district host, which will be at Struthers at Scene Park. In Struthers at Scene Park. So that will be Bob Scene Park, and a lot of these will actually be at that wonderful ballpark as well. So Bob Scene Park, the host of Northeast 1. Now we'll go into Northeast 2. Northeast 2 looks like this, and I'm going to do it right now before I forget. This one will be held in Louisville. So, Field is the top line of the bracket. They are the 5 seed. They await the winner of Salem and Roosevelt. We go to the bottom half of this side of the district. You have Marlington as the 6th seed. They await the winner of Geneva and Youngstown East. Bottom half of the district, West Branch has the bye as the 3. They await the winner of Jefferson and West Geauga. And then down here at the bottom, Madison has the bye. They await the winner of NDCL and Struthers. Looking at that district happening in Louisville. We'll go to Northeast 3 for Division 2. And top line of the bracket is going to be St. Vincent St. Mary. This district will be held in Twinsburg. St. V's awaiting the winner of Lincoln West and Cleveland Morgan. And then you have Canton South and Orville, Holy Name and Revere. Kinston will be with Brookside and Northwest. And then you have Buckeye and Coventry and Glenville. And since none of those teams were even in our district, I feel like those first two were the ones that saw all of our teams. Too many to remember how many we hit. Warrensville Heights, Lutheran West. No YSN teams in that bracket. And one more to check. I think we've hit them all, though. We got to be thorough. All right, so we have hit all of our YSN teams in Division 2, which means we can pop in to Division 3 and look at the seedings for Northeast Division 3. They're going to look like this. Perry is the 1 seed at 14-3, then Kirtland, then LeBray, then South Range is the 4. You have Garfield as the 5, Columbiana the 6, Berkshire the 7, United is the 8, Southeast 9, Cardinal Mooney 10, Crestview 11, Lakeview 12, Newton Falls at 13, Cardinal at 14, Champion at 15, Wycliffe at 16, Pymatuning Valley at 17, Cuyahoga Falls at 18, Waterloo at 19, East Palestine at 20, Campbell at 21, Conneaut at 22, Brookfield at 23, and then Liberty did not even report a record, but they're down there at the bottom at 24. Very interesting when you look at these seeds real quick. No one except Mooney, who has the respect of the schedule they play, out in the top, Crestview is sitting at 11. No one in the top 11 has anywhere close to a losing record. And then you go down and you still see winning records or 500 records when you get to Wycliffe, and Pymatuning Valley has a winning record, and East Palestine is 500. You have a lot of teams that are there that have had really good seasons, but some of these 6-6 for East Palestine haven't been able to get games in, haven't been able to up that record a little bit. So a very tight-knit group of teams with a lot of pretty impressive records. Usually when you get past 14 or 15, you see losing records pretty consistently, but not in this district at all. It's a lot of talented baseball and a lot of teams with a chance to make a deep run. Let's go look at the brackets. We'll start with Northeast 1. This district will be held at Bobstein Park, just like Division 2. And this one will look like this. Perry, the 1 seed, gets the bye. They await the winner of Champion and Camel. There'll be a rematch of MVAC foes. Played each other twice already this year. You have Berkshire with the bye in the 7 seed. They await the winner of Newton Falls and Conneaut. LeBray down there, there's the 3. In the second half of the district, they await the winner of Lakeview and East Palestine. And in the bottom half of the district, you have Columbiana, the 8. They await the winner of Crestview and Waterloo. So that's going to be another MVAC grade tier matchup between the Rebels and the Vikings. And if Crestview wins, we'll have a quick rematch of the old rivalry that got reintroduced this season down in Eastwood Field. So that'll be a fun event if that were to happen, if we saw a rematch of Columbiana and Crestview. This one would not be on a neutral site, though. This one would be down in Firestone Park in Clipper Country. So that's what that bracket looks like. We'll go into Northeast 2. This district will be held at Springfield, and it looks like this. South Range is the top line of the bracket. They have the bye. They await the winner of Cardinal and Pymatuning Valley. You go down to the bottom half of their district. You go into United with a bye waiting the winner of Southeast and Cardinal Mooney. Bottom half of the district, Kirtland has the bye as the 2 seed. They are the top seed in the bracket. In this bracket, they will await the winner of Chagrin Falls and Brookfield. And then bottom line, you have Garrettsville Garfield awaiting the winner of Whitcliffe and Liberty. And then the last bracket, let's see if you have teams in this Northeast 3. I don't think so. I think this is Waynesdale. I think we got through all of our teams. I'll just slowly go through it so the viewers can just check out the teams. These will probably be names that we'll see in the regional. All right, and we'll go give you a quick look at the last bracket in Division 3. We'll just quickly scroll through it so you guys can see some of these teams' names and the seedings and who has the route to the easiest district championship. There you go there. And then we'll have one more seating to look at. We'll go into Division 4. So here's what Division 4 looks like. As far as the seeds go, there are a lot of teams in this Division 4 district. They've kind of lumped 2 into 1. So we have 35 seeds. And the top one out of all 35 is Lake Center Christian. The second seed is Warren JFK. Remember, these two teams playing tonight and tomorrow for the conference. JFK has to win both games to win it outright. Then you have Hillsdale, Springfield, Ashtabula St. John, Middle Ridge, Dalton, Open Door Christian, Bristol, McDonald, Maplewood, Mapleton, Lawtonville, Jackson Milton, Matthews. Then you have Heartland Christian, Lisbon, East Canton, Shocker. Then you go down even more. You have Kidron Central Catholic. You have Cornerstone Christian, Grand Valley, Latonia, Wyndham, Southern, Andrews Osborne, Lowville, Western Reserve, Fairport Harding, Medina Christian Academy, Lordstown, Wellsville, St. Thomas Aquinas, Badger, and Richmond Heights. Let's go look at their brackets. Northeast 1. Let's take a look. This district will be held at Bob Scene Park. Shocker there. Everyone wants to play at Scene for really good reasons. You have Lake Center Christian, the 1 seed. They have the bye. They await the winner of St. Thomas Aquinas and Richmond Heights. Then you have Laudonville, who will be the next line in their half of the district, 13 seed, awaiting the winner of Latonia and Wyndham. Bottom half of the district, you have Dalton, the 7. They have the bye. They await the winner of Southern and Western Reserve. And then Springfield, bottom line of the bracket, they await the winner of Cornerstone Christian and Badger. We are now going to go into Northeast 2. This district will be held in Niles. And the top line of the bracket is Warren JFK. They are the 2 seed. They await the winner of Cocker against Wellsville. Maplewood is the next line of that district. They await the winner of Lisbon and Lowville. Bristol, second half of the bracket. They await the winner of Kidron Central Christian and Jackson Milton. And then bottom line, you have Middle Ridge with the bye. They await the winner of Matthews and Grand Valley. Last bracket to go over in Division 4, and it looks like this. It'll be held at Parma, Cuyahoga Community College in Parma. And the top line of the bracket is Ashtabula St. John. They await the winner of Andrews Osborne and Medina Christian. The next sectional final already decided is Open Door Christian will take on McDonald. You have Hillsdale with a bye awaiting the winner of East Canton and Lordstown. And then you have Mapleton with a bye. They await the winner of Heartland Christian and Fairport Harding. So if my count is correct, we have 2 YSN teams in this, 3 YSN teams in this Parma district, McDonald, St. John, and Heartland Christian. So that's your brackets for baseball. They've all been introduced. They've all been seeded and drawn. And next week we will be in the start of baseball postseason. This is the last week of the baseball regular season. A lot of conferences being wrapped up, a lot of makeup games being had. So this is the last game of the regular season for baseball. And then next week we'll roll into the baseball postseason. And we will be knee deep in the softball tournament as well. Speaking of that softball tournament, we're going to dive into their brackets and go over the matchups when we come back on Running Point. We're going to take a break and then go into Division 2 of softball. Brought to you, as always, by our good friends over at Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown.
21 News delivers the news as it happens, using the latest technology from where it happens.
Live here outside the Mahoney County.
On air, online,
Wednesday afternoon weather update.
Very dangerous.
and on the 21 News social media platforms.
I'm on the road right now.
21 News, the Valley's only locally owned source for trusted news since 1953.
Craftsmanship to us is 60 years of pride and dedication.
Passed down from generation to generation.
The hardwood floors that your kids take their first steps on.
The solid wood doors you quietly close at night.
The things we create day in and day out are the products that end up turning your house into a home.
At Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods, uncompromising quality and craftsmanship built our business.
And it will keep us moving forward for generations to come.
Going the extra mile at Greenwood Chevrolet means we want to take care of the community that takes care of us too.
And we have to work together always. And that's how you stay in business for 40 years.
You know, I love being a helper.
because when I help somebody, it makes me feel good.
It means a lot that I can make a difference in others' lives.
So I will do everything I can and just being there for them every step of the way.
I want them to know within the first 5 minutes that they could depend on me. That's what going the extra mile means, only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
Before the lights come on, before the workday begins, before a long day is ended, or it's time to have fun, it all starts with the people at Joe Dickey Electric. From replacing a light fixture in your home to building a substation for your business, no job is too big or too small. The people of Joe Dickey Electric power them all. Joe Dickey Electric, over 60 years of powering the Mahoning Valley.
Welcome back to Running Point on ysnlive.com, brought to you by our good friends over at Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. See them in the top right-hand corner of the screen, and you also just heard from them in that commercial break. They go the extra mile for you. We try to do the same here on this show every single day. And we are going to go into the softball brackets. We went over Division 1 on Friday. And I want to go into Division 2 and talk about these matchups and these brackets a little bit deeper. I'm going to start in Northeast 1. This is the Jefferson District. Top line, you have Aurora, who got the top seed. They await the winner of Salem and Harvey, who plays tomorrow. West Branch has Niles tomorrow. You have West Geauga at Edgewood tomorrow. Edgewood at West Geauga tomorrow. And then you have Howland down there. They await the winner of Ursuline and Girard. And then Mogador Field and Jefferson and Struthers down at the bottom of the bracket. One schedule note here for this bracket. Normally, Ursuline would play their home games at Youngstown State. That's where this tournament game was originally scheduled to be at. But the YSU Penguin softball team is really, really good, and they won the regular season Horizon League, so they will host the Horizon League tournament. So that is going to be not able to be at YSU. That Horizon League tournament starts tomorrow at YSU throughout the whole week up until, I think it's Tuesday through Saturday, a double elimination tournament for YSU. We wish the Penguins the best of luck in that. A couple of former YSN players playing for YSU. But so this game will be held at the Field of Dreams tomorrow. Field of Dreams, Youngstown versus Girard versus Ursuline. So if you're looking for that game, don't go to YSU unless you want to see some college softball. This one will be held at the Field of Dreams for Ursuline's home game. And I imagine that they won't have to worry about the next home game because no matter what, they'll play Howland, who is the higher seed. So we go to the top line of the bracket. Aurora is the 1 seed. They are very, very good. We just saw Talmadge over the weekend, who is the reigning Division II state champions, and they returned 7 seniors, basically the same team. Aurora beat them twice in run rule fashion. This Aurora team is just locked and loaded this year. They're the 1 seed for a reason. They're undefeated, I believe, on the season. Very good. They're a very good softball team. They should have no trouble getting to a district championship. Out of this bracket, I can't see someone knocking off Aurora. When we talk about this matchup, I'm happy that Salem got in the work to get a home game. It's going to be big for their program to host a tournament game and have a chance to get a tournament win tomorrow night when they host Harvey. Bottom line of the bracket, the 7 seed West Branch, they're probably going to be that one team that tries their luck against Aurora to get into the district semifinals. They'll have to contend with Niles and West Geauga and Edgewood. I think Edgewood is underseeded, especially when you consider that their max preps RPI are way above West Geauga. But this is coach voted, right? So more people thought West Geauga looked more impressive or had a more impressive record, however you want to put it. People voted West Geauga 1 seed higher, but I think Edgewood is actually getting a little bit snubbed in that seeding, and they have the opportunity to go improve it. They have to on the road. If both of our YSN teams win, actually West Branch and Niles is an all YSN team. So if West Branch and Edgewood win, that game would be at West Branch on Thursday. We'll see who comes out on top of that one. Then you look at the bottom half. Howland going to be putting in work. They are definitely well tested. They have played teams that are on the same level of Aurora throughout their conference with Canfield and Fitch twice. And then non-conference schedule has been real beefed up by Coach Wade as well. They're getting Brooke Tater back. She just had a big return on Friday night with 3 home runs. Pitched really well. She was hurt for a little bit, but she's back in the lineup. So that makes Howland a very formidable team, a wild card in this district for sure. I think Ursuline and Girard will be a good game. I think they're both offensively centered teams. Girard's offense has really sparked the last couple of weeks. So is Ursuline's. But they also both have pitchers who might not be your dominant ace-type pitchers that are going to hold people to no runs or, strike out 18 in the game. But they have pitching staffs that just work. They just work. They're never going to collapse in a game. They're never going to go and give up a huge inning after a couple of mistakes. They're going to keep you in it. They're going to keep you right there with these offenses. They have the perfect pitching staff for that. They're going to, hey, if we need to only give up 6 runs and we score 7, that's what we'll do. They're both really good pitching with runners on. You look at their numbers, both Lily Dietz and Brooklyn Brohl have really good numbers with runners on base, so they get out of a bunch of sticky situations. And they both play really good teams in their schedule. Ursuline has the Independent and Steel Valley schedule, so they go out and play a bunch of the area's best. And then Girard is in the same conference as South Range and Lakeview, who are both really good teams that they've had to play twice each. So I think that's a sneaky good sectional semifinal. And I think you could see that go either way. You look at the bottom half. Field is the 4 seed. I haven't had the pleasure of seeing them live yet this year, so I can't tell you, confidently if they've earned that 4 seed or if they're a little bit down. But I will say that I think Howland has the green light for this district, this side of the district. Jefferson Struthers, that's an old in the 8 matchup. I think Jefferson might be a little bit underappreciated too. They've played well this year. They've had a lot of big wins. I think the Ashtabula County School is getting a little bit of cold shoulder in this Division 2. I think Jefferson might earn a 12 or 11 seed in my eyes. But either way, they're sitting there at 14. They have a matchup with Struthers. And if they win, they'll go to Mogador Field. I think Jefferson has that one as the favorites. And I think they're good enough to give Field the game in that sectional final. Let's go into the next bracket in Division 2. This one will be held at Hubbard. And you see Canfield as the top seed. Canfield went all the way to the state championship game last year, fell in the championship to Talmadge. They are hungry to get back, and their road starts with a matchup with either Cheney or Geneva. That game has been moved from tomorrow to today, so that game will be played today. As you can see on the bracket, it reflects that. Most Division 2 games are playing tomorrow, but Cheney got moved back to today. Kinston, Hubbard, and East are the bottom line of this. Well, not the bottom line of the district, but bottom line of this half of the district, the top half of the bracket. Kinston is the 9 seed, Hubbard is the 11, and East is the 24. I'm always going to lean towards any 8 teams because they've seen high-level softball with South Range, Lakeview, and Poland all in their conference. They have to play all of them twice. I don't think Kenson is going to bring anything to the table that Hubbard hasn't seen. Now, does that mean that Hubbard can go and win and beat what they've seen? We'll have to see. But there are any teams like that play high-level softball consistently. I'm not talking like 1 or 2 games. I'm talking 6 games in conference when you're just looking at their conference schedule against high-caliber softball teams that are really going to test you. I always lean towards teams like that. And they're going to have a good chance. They're going to have a good chance to get into the district semis. Bottom line, I'm really high on Marlington. I think they're a very good softball program as the 3 seed. I expected them to go in their own bracket. They didn't. They went after Canfield, the 2. That'll be very interesting. They have Conneaut and Crestwood. There's no problem there. They're going to go right into the district semifinals. Bottom line, Perry, Ravenna, Gilmore Academy. I would be careful with Gilmore Academy. I know that Perry is technically the higher seed here, 6 and 8. But Gilmore Academy, we know all too well, they boast a brutal schedule. They are always good. They have great athletics. They have great facilities, great trainers. They're always in the best shape, and they're always wild cards in these tournaments, kind of like in DCL. And I think they'll actually. I would pick them to beat Perry, and square off with Marlington in the district semis. But I do think Marlington is good enough to get into that district championship, and hopefully Canfield can get there as well. And we'll see a Canfield Marlington game in the championship because that'll be a really good softball matchup. That does it for our Division II brackets. Last thing we have to do today is talk about the games that'll be on the network. So let me bring up the spreadsheet and tell you what games will be broadcasted today, as we have regular season games on tap still for baseball and softball. Even though softball tournament starts today, plenty of teams are still wrapping up their regular season. We have some conferences hanging in the balance today as well. So here are the baseball games that'll be on the network tonight. We have Jefferson and Edgewood. Larry Jennings will have the call there. Tyler Hertz will be at Grand Valley as Pymachining Valley comes to town. Joe Eusebio will be in Columbiana for them versus East Palestine. Cooper Chavone will have you covered for Lakeview South Range. Matt Marr will be on the call for Struthers and Girard. And then DJ Oakley going to be down at Seam Park for Fitch and Ursuline. On the softball side of things, Eric Hughes heading down to Mohawk as they will play Blackhawk. You have myself and Howland playing host to Columbiana. And then Ty Bartell going to be at Austintown Fitch as they play Avon Lake. Big game ahead as South Range and Lakeview are playing each other tonight. And that will be for the NEA championship, pretty much, these next 2 games between those two. They're both undefeated in the conference. They're both 10-0. So whoever wins tonight guarantees at least a share. And whoever wins tonight will have to win tomorrow for the outright championship. That's how it goes. Both teams have played really well, especially inside the NEA. Couple of scares along the way that they were able to get through, but mostly domination in the conference. And they squared up tonight. We have another conference on the line in baseball as JFK will play at Lake Center Christian tonight. JFK needs 2 wins against Lake Center Christian to claim the conference championship. That's the 1 and 2 seed in the district as well for baseball that we saw. So a lot to kind of sort through, a lot of big games happening tonight. And you can find all the recaps later tonight on ysnlive.com. Games can be found at ysnlive.com/live. Make sure to check them out, tune them in, and we will see you all tomorrow for a big recap show. And also we'll go over divisions 3 and 4 of the softball tournament brackets. We'll see you all tomorrow. Have a great day.